Hi everyone, Ula here. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to stop overthinking and learn to trust your partner. And regardless of whether your partner has given you a reason not to trust them or not, maybe it was in a past relationship where they've cheated on you, or maybe it's in a current relationship, but you've decided to stay with them and you want to move on from this situation. Either way, you need to learn to let go of this lack of trust, and you need to allow yourself to give your partner more understanding. You need to stop interpreting every action of theirs as something wrong in the relationship, and whether that may be, thinking if they go out with the boys or the girls that they'll find someone new, they'll forget about you, that they'll be interested and cheat with this person, or whether it's simply they take a long time to reply, they stay late after work, or they go on a weekend away with some work colleagues, and you have your mind just overrun with all of these scenarios in your head. Whatever the thing is, you need to be able to release those, because firstly, it's causing you a lot of pain, a lot of endless pain and spiraling and overthinking, sleepless nights, all the rest. But every time you do that, you also cause a rift in the relationship, because every time you're doing that, you're showing to your partner that you don't trust them. And if they've done nothing wrong, they're going to be upset, they're going to feel offended, they're going to feel that lack of trust, and it's going to build distance between you and them in the relationship. So how do we get over this? How do we stop with all this overthinking, with the endless stories and the spiraling that's just getting out of control? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to look at the thoughts and the beliefs that we have in that moment. So what is it that you continually think of when you have this moment where you're doubting their trust? What is the pattern? What is the cyclical theme of the things that are going through your mind? And if it helps, you can also write them out in a book or write them down. And every time you have this overthinking moment where you're not trusting them, write it down and let's see what are the patterns. And very often it's something like, if I'm not there, they will forget about me. If they forget about me, then I'll be alone forever. If they leave me, no one else will love me. And it's, it can vary from there, but, those are some of the common themes. So once we identify what those thoughts and beliefs are, we can go back and find out, when was the first time that I felt this way? And think back and see, where did this come from? Where did this belief originate? And once you find that point, see if you can go back even further. And even further, when was the first time you felt that way? And once you're able to find that point, you can see, well, what was the scenario that created that? And very often, it may be an earlier relationship when you were younger, where you had quite a lot of boundaries crossed, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of painful emotions from infidelity or lack of trust from that partner. Or it could have even been from childhood, where there was a lack of trust from a parent, a caregiver, someone else that's led you to feel that if this person leaves me, I'll be alone forever. I can't trust this person because everyone hurts me, whatever that belief is. And once you've gone back and identified where it's came from, you can really look at this scenario with a different lens. So if it was, for example, an ex-partner who cheated on you, you can reframe that and say, well, I was really young in that relationship. I probably knew that that wasn't a good person or not the right person for me. I probably knew that there was problems in the relationship, but I didn't speak up for myself. So I've come so far and I've learned so much that I would never put myself in a situation like that again. And realistically, the person I'm dating now is nothing like that person. Absolutely like worlds away from them. So I would never, ever, ever expect them to treat me the way that that person did. And even if they did, I'm so much older, I'm more mature, I'm wiser, I have so much life experience, I can communicate myself better, so I can really deal with a situation like that way better than how I did in the previous relationship. On the other hand, if it was something from your childhood, you can see that with a new lens as well. Well, if let's say a caregiver betrayed your trust and they left you, and maybe the belief was that, everyone always betrays me, when they betray me, then I'm alone in the end and no one will love me. So if that's the case, you can look at that with a different lens too. Well, I was just a little kid, and actually that person's actions had nothing to do with me, or how lovable I was, or how deserving of love I was, and it had everything to do with that person and their situation, and maybe even their trauma, that they weren't able to show up for me in the way that they should have, especially if it's a parent. But regardless, it actually had no impact on whether I will ever be loved again or if I deserve love, because that was what happened when I was a kid, and I had no control over that. But what I do have control over is my life now, and my feelings now, and my situations that I put myself in now. And I can choose not to put myself in those kinds of situations again. So when we go back and we reframe, we're able to explore all those old painful emotions, release those old emotions. And once you understand the core belief, you can really reframe that for yourself. So a new belief can be, I am worthy of love, or I am choosing to love the right people, or the right people will come into my life and love me the way that I need to be loved and want to be loved, and that there is always love out there for me. Whatever that new belief is, whatever it is that you need to feel, what that you need to believe, tell yourself that instead, so that when you are having the same situation, let's say your partner's gone out for drinks with the girls or drinks with the boys, you can tell yourself, well, I know my partner loves me, I know they're very happy in this relationship, and I know that by spending a little bit of time alone, they will actually be more happy to see me when they get back. And telling yourself that new story will allow you to release all the anxiety, all the overthinking, and you can actually enjoy to spend time by yourself. You can use that time to have self-care. Maybe you can go spend it with your own friends. Maybe you can read a book, go to the gym, watch a movie, any of the things that you really like, because you're able to give yourself all that time back that you would previously have spent overthinking. So once you're able to stop overthinking, release all those things, your whole relationship will change, because your partner will see that you trust them. And once you give them that trust, the whole dynamic of the relationship starts to shift. But if you don't give them that trust, if you continually make them feel that they're on edge, that they're walking on broken glass around you, and that they have to tiptoe around you, that's not a good place to form a good foundation for the future. And you can see that if you were to continue doing this, imagine another year or 5 years or 10 years, this partner's going to get really fed up from continually feeling that you don't trust them when they've done nothing wrong. And this will push them further and further away, and it will lead to breakdowns if it's not resolved. And if this has been a problem for you for a while, I'm sure that you may have found that there have been previous relationships that have ended badly because you didn't trust. And you can expect that that pattern's going to continue if you don't resolve it. So if you don't resolve it, you can expect a lot more pain, a lot more problems in the relationship than if you had just learned to give them the trust that they deserve, knowing that this person is not the person that hurt you in the past. It's not that old caregiver. It's not that person who cheated on you 5, 10, 20 years ago. This person is here and they love you now, and they want to make this relationship work. So as soon as you're able to accept that and understand that, you're able to give the relationship room to breathe, room to grow, room to develop. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please give it a like. I would love if you subscribe to my channel, and otherwise I look forward to seeing you in the next video.